um, how the school university got the fees for this semester, and then the backlash that came from students and NUGS, and then currently how they have reversed the decision and they've reduced the fees by some percentage.
Okay, so I think if you could remember quite well, somewhere around December last year, the school released the new fees. And I must admit that when the fees came, I mean, we were expecting, some of us in NUGS, we were expecting to, have a foreknowledge of the fees before it comes to the student domain. But unfortunately, that couldn't happen. So we happened to have the fees at the same time as the general student populace had it. And I must admit that when I personally saw the fees, I had some emotion towards it. I was a little bit dissatisfied and at the same time angry. The anger directed to, I would say, we the student leaders and also management, because looking at the time that we found ourselves in, already we were anticipating that if for nothing, because we know school fees reduction isn't something that is common, but if for nothing, you could have the fees stayed at where it was, or we weren't actually anticipating for any increment. So when you saw the fees being increased, it came with some mixed emotions. And we started asking questions. So I remember quite well, the Speaker of Parliament had to call the UHAS President, the then UHAS President, to Parliament to address us on the issue. So I think that was when it started. The whole banter started. It started from the UHAS Parliament. And we had engagements, the UHAS President, the parliamentarians, and others. We had engagement, and eventually the UHAS President scheduled a meeting with he spoke with the Vice Chancellor, and a meeting with the school's management and also the student leadership was arranged. That was during the vacation. We had that meeting, and in that meeting, we voiced out our concerns. We told the management about how unhappy we are about the fees. And unfortunately or unfortunately, that time the government had already brought the percentage that each school is supposed to, each school is expected to increase their fees by. And that directive was loud and clear. It was clear. Every university was supposed to go by 15% increment of the previous academic year fees. So we told the school our concern that this is what we've seen, this is the directive we've seen coming from the Parliament of Ghana and also the Ghana Tertiary Education Commission, that they expect each university to increase their fees by 15% of the previous one. So we told the university, they gave their own reason as to why the increment couldn't happen that way. And if you could, make the analysis, a comparison of the old fees that came, the one that came in December, and the previous academic year fees, you could see an increment as high as 30%, 40%. I think you could even find some as 60% if I'm not wrong. So we actually got frustrated, and we told the school our concern that this is what the Parliament of Ghana is saying, and if for nothing, even though we weren't anticipating for an increment, but if for nothing, choosing between the lesser evils, that's what the government of Ghana is saying and what the school wants to charge. We would definitely go for the lesser evil. So we said if for nothing, we would stick by what the government is saying, that's a 15% increment. And the school gave their concern that they had engaged the government, that they want, exclusion from that directive, and that they would want to, because of how the system in UHAS here is, unlike other universities like Legon, Tech, UDS, and the rest, we would want an exception to that directive. So we told the school, well, if this is what you are saying, we don't want any increment. But if you still want to increase your fees, then engage the government on it. And I think we issued a communique to that effect, that the school should engage the government, that's GTEC, on the fees, and any conclusion that they draw with the government, they can come back and tell us. At that point, when we realized that the fight was becoming difficult, we had to, press harder. We had to press harder, but then don't put ourselves in any difficult situation as student leaders. We started engagement with the national NUGS also, and we had to, because it's the mother union that all universities in Ghana belong to, so we had to make them understand what was happening in our local chapter here. So we gave them the right information, the accurate information, and the fact also. regarding it. And I think Denis Alabi, His Excellency Denis Alabi, he actually fought hard in ensuring that, in this fight, he actually fought hard in ensuring that the right thing was done. So there was back and forth, and we had to take the painful decision to tell students to suspend payment of fees, even though it was something that we knew it was going to come with consequences. But I mean, we are student leaders, and that was the essence. Students gave us the mandate, and these are hard times that students want to see. The relevance of they giving you the mandate as student leaders. So we also have to continue the fight with them. So we have to tell them to halt to the payment of fees. Eventually, the school, adjusted their decision, and they adjusted their percentage. And when they did the adjustment, I think the new fee, the percentage increment, it varied across the fees. It varied, and the percentage was between 18% and 23%, if I'm right. I think basically that was what happened throughout. Yes.